I just started the stream. You guys are live.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome to our 65th community call here at Giveth. Today is Sunday, May 30th. We're going to close out the month strong and dig into our community gathering. So I just shared a link to the Notion agenda. At the beginning here, as always, we will go through for a check-in and share anything that you might like to see added to the agenda, and I'll track that to make sure we cover it today. You can give praise on your turn, and then I just want to share a caveat, a friendly reminder. We had a governance meeting this past Monday, and we decided to make things more efficient, especially as our team is expanding, that we will limit praise to 30 seconds per person. And so if you want to add your praise to the Notion agenda with your name ahead of time, or even while, just during our call, that way, if it goes over 30 seconds and you're not able to give all the praise that you want to acknowledge people for, it's still tracked. And then it's easier for Lauren to copy and paste it from the note into the praise channel. So I put mine here. And I see Griff's putting his in, so I'm just going to make sure I add his name. Okay. Cool. All right, so I can get us started. I don't have any additional agenda items to add. I'm feeling awesome, and there is a bunch of praise I'd like to give out today. I'm going to start the timer. Hopefully this will be loud enough on my phone so you guys can hear. Okay, I'd like to praise Griff for coming here to Costa Rica. He joined us yesterday in person and was traveling all day. Super excited to get to work with him this week. Also praise him for the gifts, the UPS, so that our Wi-Fi can keep going all rain season long. I want to praise Lauren for picking Griff up from the airport and hosting him, and Griff, Lauren, and Ashley for coming over last night for dinner. I want to praise the comms team for the docs migration work and for getting really clear on mission, vision, and values and prioritizing that. And my timer went off for going in here too. I will pass the mic to Willie.
Thanks, Forrest. Morning, everybody. Well, I love that we're trying to be quick and then we're still keeping praise, so I'm just going to dive right into it. Feeling great. Agenda-wise, I thought maybe we could talk a little bit about roadmap. I heard that on the call this past week. There was some uncertainty about roadmap and desire for more clarity. So I don't know if we have to go too into it. Maybe we can talk about it for a bit and maybe schedule something this week to go deeper. Praise-wise, I want to praise Hannah. Met up with her last week for coffee, and she's just trying to figure out ways to support Giveth and get more involved. It's really awesome to see, so I want to praise her for that. I want to praise Ashley for taking the initiative to improve the Discord experience. I think it's awesome. It's such a valuable thing to do, and I'm so glad that you did that. It's looking awesome. You did a great job with that. Also want to praise Monique for stepping up to help Giveth 2 dev team, or Giveth.io dev team on the project management side. I got to meet up with him this past week and get to know him better, and I'm really excited to work with him on and I'm glad to have his support. I think he's awesome. So it's great to hear his background. We're lucky to have him. All right. Hopefully made it in under 30 seconds. Probably went over. I'll pass it to Lauren.
Oh no. Okay, great. Awesome. I am doing fine. The only thing I'd like to just mention quickly on the agenda, or add to the agenda, is that we're doing a work in progress on our mission, vision, values, and it would be amazing to get everybody's feedback. And so I'll just dive into my praise. So I want to praise Ashley, Mitch, and Forrest for just being an awesome comms team and working super hard on the wiki to docs migration. I want to praise Griff for coming and bringing us UPSs. It's super amazing that we get to have power and internet now. I want to praise Gabby for getting the Giveth garden up, and also Willie and Griff for helping set all of that up and all the different things. And I want to praise Bowen for answering all my questions on the airdrop. airdrop list in the airdrop article. I want to praise Wonka for coming into the Giveth call and offering gravity support. I want to praise Ashley for doing an amazing job of setting up the Discord. And also I want to praise Monique for jumping into the Dev2 call and just looking for ways in which he can support. And I'll pass it to Ashley.
Hello, everybody. Today is a good day. It feels really good. It was really nice to get out with everybody last night and connecting on a more friend level. And yeah, so I put my praise in the Discord already before the meeting, but I guess one of the things I really wanted to highlight is all the work that went into getting the gardens set up, the covenant stuff, Gabby getting that up on ready to test, and I'm excited to look into it. I haven't had much of a chance yet, but I plan to do some testing on that today and see what we can do. And let's see, what else did I put in here? Oh, just like Lauren has been keeping up all the GitHub issues, like clean and clearing redundant issues and keeping our planning board looking really nice. And I know she did a lot of work on that this week, so that's really awesome. And I guess Kai and Danny and Griff and Willie always have responsive answers and I have questions or ideas, and just like really providing a lot of guidance for me this week as I figure out things like with Discord and all that stuff. So that was really nice. And I think I'm probably done. So I'll pass it to Mitch.
What did you say, me? You kind of cut out at the end.
Yes, you, Mitch.
Oh, me. Okay, thanks. Praise this week. Praise Lauren for leading the Wikidocs migration effort. Praise Forrest for leading comms calls and all the work she does that I don't see around givebacks and give sprint planning. Praise Matteo for finishing his move and coming back online. And I'd like to actually praise James for sharing his frustration in the dev call and catalyzing a very important discussion. No distractions. On the agenda, I just added a point there relating to Wonka and maybe how we want to incorporate gravity into our conflict resolution process. And with that, I'll pass it to Danny.
Hello, good morning. Wow, all of this praise that you guys have all shared and all of this that's happening is so beautiful. I'm in a very high functioning state of it today, and I'll go in and do my praise. I guess I'll just rattle off the ones that are really important that I've seen. I want to praise Hannah for the way she's stepped in. I want to praise Ashley, especially for that Discord stuff. I see some work in some other Discords that I know you have a hand in for that as well. Lauren, you are just amazing. I'm so grateful to have you on this. Thank you so much. I really want to praise the Giveth Trace. I've been showing Trace to a few people and getting that set up. Every time I go back in and look, it's better. It's something additional that changes our praise Mitch, especially for the docs. That is coming along really beautifully. And then Gabby and Willie and Griff,
and that's time. I think it's cutting out a bit. Danny, who did you pass it to?
I'm like, wow, just muted Danny. That's harsh.
I'm so sorry. I was like hoping the sound would be loud enough so I didn't have to say it. I hate being bad cop.
Did you hear me though, say Wonka?
Oh, okay, now I did. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. Well, I'm happy to see the Giveth team back again, because in one of these calls was where I started communicating my ideas related to alternative dispute resolution and conflict management in DAOs. And I am happy to be back in these calls some months later with some work done and willing to collaborate. So yeah, I am happy, and I would like to praise Danny, Willie, Amin, Rick, Mateo, Mitch, Lauren, and well, I would love to know more Ashley and Forrest and Mohammed. I am here and willing to collaborate. And I will pass to Mateo.
Hey guys, happy Sunday. This time I want to praise the whole dev team and the test team because of all their support this week as I was really busy and away regarding this moving thing. I want to praise Juanjo for coming over to our meetings and bringing gravity to our community. Gravity is needed everywhere, and I'm very happy to see him bring his knowledge to the community. I also want to praise Gabby for his amazing work on the garden. I know what that is like to make that happen, and I am amazed by the time that he made it possible because it's not very easy to do, and I'm really happy that we are getting that really fast, actually. And I also want to praise Hannah for her amazing work on the payments, and that she's actually very active in the Giveth team. So that's it. I'll pass it to next. Mohammed, Habiba.
Hey everyone, I want to praise Ramin for a lot of improvements that he did in the UI of Giveth Race, and I would praise Amin for uh, reviewing and testing a big PR. And I would pass it to Amin.
Hi everyone. I want to praise Monique for taking over project management of GS2. I want to praise Lauren initially. Lauren provide us some content for sharing tweets about gas price of a project, how much we have paid gas for some project. We can tweet it and share it in public. Praise actually tested our application. I want to praise Mohammed. He did an intensive job. So we have changed trade milestones and GAX terms all from the Giveth trace, and they are replaced by traces and communities. You can see it in the development with Theo. And yeah, I want to praise Ramin. He did he overcome every issue that he had. He's great. He becomes better every day. Yeah, I want to pass.
Is also our time. Sorry. I actually really hate doing this, and I hope that we can come up with a different process. I feel horrible.
No, I finished. That was all I wanted to say. Thank you.
And I think that everyone except for Griff has gone, I believe. And you're on mute, Griff.
Great. Okay, so I have a lot of praise. We'll see if I can even get close. I want to praise Lauren for being such a gracious host and getting me all set up in Costa Rica, helping me clean up the delicious mess in my suitcase. Maple syrup exploded. I want to praise Forrest, Ashley, and Lauren for such a welcoming reception and a delicious feast. Thank you so much, Forrest. I want to obviously praise Gabby and the rest of the Gardens team for what they built and what we get to use. It's incredible. DM me my address if you want to play. And I want to praise Willie, Mateo, and Lauren for already starting to play with it and get it going. I want to praise Marco and James for being critical of and pointing out ways that we can improve and challenging our processes. I want to praise Edu and Jesus for their work on the smart contracts. Jesus works for Adin 3 and is starting to audit the smart contracts for the Giveth distro. I want to praise Bowen for putting together the final airdrop list so I could pass it to Edu. Praise Monique, Mateo, and Mateo for prioritizing real world this week. Sometimes we get lost in the Giveth and all this crypto space. So way to prioritize the real world. It's important too.
You were speaking so fast. I love it.
Next time, record it and play fast.
We need the chipmunk voices. All right. Well, if anyone has additional things that they want to praise and acknowledge people for, which I'm sure we all do, please make sure you capture it in the community call agenda. And that way, yeah, we can make sure that everyone is credited for all the things that we want them to be. And maybe on our governance call tomorrow, maybe we consider extending it to 45 seconds or a minute or something. Okay.
Or also you can just dish praise on Discord. And so like it's probably better than in the notes. Go straight to the source.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so first on our agenda is going through the comm circle. So also I added here up at the top, if you want to participate in our calls, we have calls every Friday, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, and here is the link. You can also see it in the Giveth calendar. And then sometimes we have hack sessions on Mondays in the afternoon as well. So the latest and greatest from us, Marco did a lot of awesome work around the brand book, and so we've been making comments there and some adjustments. We have our ongoing Changemakers campaign. We received so far 3 new submissions since our last roundup, and we're doing some outreach to see if we can get some other projects added. And we're looking to publish the 3rd roundup piece on Medium this week. What we have been focusing quite a lot of our time over the past 2 weeks has been on this wiki to docs migration, which is a beast. Our goal is to have 1 more week to complete it and seal the deal. In the last week, what we've accomplished around the migration has been determining the organizational structure of the new docs flow, reconstruing the way that we present the goals of our circles, and also, deciding what are the 4 circles that we want to feature. We added a community circle section and content that we're writing around intro, goals, and the regenerative commons and our partners. Each member of the comms team has been editing their own assigned content and then doing quality checks on one another's drafts. And that conversation's going on in our GitHub issues and HackMD. We also updated the way that we're going to communicate about our governance circle, and we assigned different sections to everyone on the comms team for this week, which you can see below. And as mentioned in the check-ins, Ashley's been doing a lot of work on our Discord guide documentation, which is a work in progress, but almost there. For the Taurus help, because users have been having some problems with that, Mitch has this HackMD document that's linked here that he's completed his draft on, and then the QA review is in progress through HackMD for this docs documentation. Feel free to take a look if you're interested and leave notes and comments. Around the Give Economy launch, we've kind of broken out in steps, priority steps. So we're really prioritizing getting very clear on the Giveth mission, vision, and values, since everything really stems from that place, and understanding what the big meme that we want to push is. Our next step, which is also in progress, is our comms messaging for articles and social media around the launch. So for the airdrop, Lauren's currently writing this piece that will communicate, what the airdrop is and why you're receiving this, and just kind of the overview. I've linked here the Uniswap and the Gitcoin airdrop announcements. And if you have like a strong preference or feedback on which approach you prefer and why, please post in the comms channel or DM Lauren. We're kind of collecting feedback around the direction of that piece. For the givebacks program, our article around like how do givebacks work, Ashley is working on and adapting as we continue like building out that flow. And we are open to ideas around thought pieces for the givebacks program and the give token economy. So if you have any ideas, posting them in the communications channel in Discord is a great place. Then we have some different ideas for video content to create. So our next step is getting really clear on the intent and key purpose of those videos and creating like script of the structures of the videos in tandem with looking for a great person to produce it. We've got a few people in mind, but we haven't locked anyone in yet. Our next section is around the hiring pushes that we've been doing. So this Solidity Dev position, We've got interviews going with around 3 promising applicants, but we're definitely still looking for those special unicorns to join the tribe. So we're going to be doing another round of posting on social media and the messaging channels and just doing more outreach. And if you have any friends or recommendations, please join and please send them to us. There's also this back-end developer position. I know there was a good discussion around this, among other things, in our last dev call this past week. And for this position, we're still looking for Mateo and James to kind of weigh in on this doc before we can go ahead and get it published. For social media, we have a meme Olympics this Wednesday. We invite you to attend, pretty please. I think it's after the dev call in the old time that we had for the dev calls. So I think a lot of people should be able to make it. Yeah, we're going to be memeing the heck out of Giveth's mission, vision, and values, and really kind of creating a fun competition to see, yeah, like what is the big clear message that we want to communicate, and really open it up to make sure the whole team is involved. And then, as always, here's a link to a spreadsheet where you can contribute ideas for Twitter that Lauren can take and publish. And just a reminder to turn on your tweet notifications so that when Giveth stuff is posted, you're told about it so that you can engage and share. That was a mouthful. I just want to open it up if anyone else from the comms team has anything they'd like to share, if there's any questions from the team.
You guys are working on so much great stuff. Just no questions. Just really awesome to hear all the stuff you guys are working on. Really impressive.
Yay. Thanks, Lily.
Lauren,
did you have something?
Yeah, I'd love to just like emphasize the with the mission, vision, values thing. Something that we're like actively working on right now is trying to figure out like what is like the one sentence kind of tagline as to what Giveth is all about. Like, and so we have like just some ideas like, are we donor owned and donor operated, or are we incentivizing donations? Or, I mean, we have like building the future of giving, but like, what does that look like more specifically? So this is part of the idea of the meme party Olympics thing on Wednesday. And we want to just like kind of like experiment with like the different parts of our mission, vision, values and come up with like just like the one key messaging that's like specific and direct that kind of like sums up what we're all aligned towards. So yeah, I just want to mention that. So it would be amazing if everyone could like help brainstorm on that and also come to the meme Olympics, and then we can see what rises to the top.
And if you haven't been directly invited to that, like I think Juan Carlos, I don't believe, or do you prefer Juan Carlos or Wonka, first of all?
Both of them are good.
Okay, perfect. Well, if you want to send me your email, I can invite you directly if you'd like to join as well. I'm on Discord, Reforest, or you can put it in the chat here if you prefer.
I am in the Discord already.
Okay, great. And I'll find you. Okay, cool. Anything else around communications before we move on? Baller. Community is our next circle. Ashley, is there anything you'd like to share here around community or the regenerative commons?
Most of my bandwidth this week has been spent internally, so I haven't done a lot of outreach, but I've been doing some brainstorming just around ideas for things that we could do as a community that might not necessarily be like work, or like maybe, I don't know, ways to incorporate connection between people on the team and maybe newcomers, and ways to get them more involved in like the ongoings of our community and how they can engage without necessarily like needing to pick up tasks. So I don't know, I've been just thinking of different ways to have an engaging call, or maybe we could all like play a game together during the community call, like we could play Pictionary, or I don't know, something that might be fun for us all to get together on. And so like if you guys have any ideas or ways that we can incorporate that kind of stuff, then let me know. But I think that's really all I have for community this section or this week.
That's awesome, Ashley. I love that idea. And I would. Okay. Next up is governance. Before I pass the mic to Danny, in case you have anything that you'd like to share here, I just want to remind the team that we have a governance meeting tomorrow and every Monday. And I'm curious if there are any requests for things that we can discuss or propose.
I feel like I saw some proposals for items for this week in the Discord channel.
Yeah, I had one thing actually I wanted to bring up there, just relating to going through all this old documentation. A lot of the stuff around our advice process and conflict resolution is not up to date at all. And so specifically relating to conflict resolution, like basically everything that was in there is not really what we're doing. And I had a quick discussion with Wonka this morning, and maybe incorporating gravity into our conflict resolution process and what that would look like.
Okay, yeah. I would be super into reviewing the old documentation. I don't know where is it, but if you facilitate me the link, I can start reviewing. And I think that the idea that I want to bring into the table is that we can invite some of the Giveth members to participate in the next Graviton training that we're going to do after July, so that Giveth has its own like Gravitons that are people that play the role of mediator and facilitator of dialogue within the community. So I think that that would be like my first idea, but it would be good to review the old documentation. Also, we are doing a survey to identify the needs and feelings related to conflict management in DAOs. So I would like, to invite you to fill that survey and to distribute it within other members. I will paste it in the chat. And this is the survey. Gravity survey. Oh, it's better if I paste it in the Notion. I will. The survey. And Willie, I just read your message. I will send you the icebreaker page.
Forrest, the things that I see, you posted that on the 26th, talking about bringing Monique on, which sounds like that's might already actually be in motion. Following up on how our circles communicate together and considering sociocracy, maybe a few more steps in that direction. Tensions in decision-making around new hires, and then what we just talked about with gravity.
Awesome. And then I see Willie's comment here. I'll copy that in. Demoing Giveth Gardens. Okay, perfect. Okay, beautiful. And yeah, it seems like we did have a good discussion around Monique coming on as Scrum Master for the Dev2 team. Is that something we still need to discuss in governance, or has that been kind of clearly like communicated and agreed upon in a non-governance meeting fashion?
Well, if we were going to use a sociocratic model, is there anyone who has objections that need to be discussed? If not, it sounds like we're going to go, we just need to define the next steps.
Okay, so maybe we can change to that. Cool. Okay, perfect. And maybe that can go below here because the other things are kind of related. Okay, Danny, I'll pass it to you if there's anything else that you'd like to add around governance.
No, only my apologies for being absent this past week. I will be there to facilitate the call tomorrow and look forward to having that.
Awesome. Thank you, Danny. Okay, cool. So then we'll skip on down to our give token. Quick links up here at the top if you want to dig in. We closed out sprint number 8 last week, and we did some great pre-planning and got our priorities aligned and organized in order for sprint 9, which we are now in. So the latest and greatest and kind of like our list of priorities, the things that we're really working on are closing out the airdrop. Bowen has been really hacking on this pretty hardcore over the past few days. I don't know the latest status as of the last 2 days, if this is complete or this is still in progress. But yeah, we're really looking to close out the airdrop in this sprint and get the Giveth Gardens going, which also we've made progress in the past few days. The covenant has been completed, and as you may have seen in Discord discussion with Gabby and Willie and Lauren, we've made some good progress there. So Giveth Gardens is the test is running. We're working on, and this was a request for the agenda also, Rinkeby testing roadmap in this sprint. Now that Griff is here in Costa Rica, he and I are going to meet up in person and do some road mapping. So I'm super excited for that. We've still got to schedule it, but I think it should be in the next few days. Prioritizing, hopefully, the 3-box integration and making staging.giveth.io available on the Rinkeby network. We are prioritizing hiring the Solidity dev and hiring the backend dev. Also, the Givebacks program, communication messaging, and designs. And then for the project verification process, our next steps are migrating from the type form that we've been using under the Common Stack account to our own Giveth account, which we now have thanks to Griff, and sending out another round of applicants, and then just going through that iteration and making more process adaptations. Are there any other updates around the Give economy or any questions from the team?
I want to throw in Bowen did finish the list, or at least got it to a place where it's ready for a vote. All the edge cases are taken care of, so that's super cool. It probably needs some I haven't done the QA QC, so I can't say it's totally done, but Bowen's done. So thank you, Bowen. And then DM me if you want some Give tokens and you want to play on Gardens. It's really fun. I will send you 1 million Give. The beginning of the Rinkeby roadmap is just testing the distribution with Edu, which I think I might have missed him today. Unfortunately, I had his attention earlier. Lost him. But it's his weekend. So, but we'll definitely kick that out in the next 2 days. So we'll actually do the airdrop with the numbers on Rinkeby. It's not an airdrop. It's a claim. So no one will even get tokens on Rinkeby unless they go to. We're going to try to deploy a front end so people can actually go and claim it.
Amazing.
On that note, is there any way for us to test with these test Give tokens? Sorry if you just answered this, but is there a way for us to test any liquidity mining stuff yet? Or is that?
No, liquidity mining is definitely going to be one of the last things we test, because we need to upgrade the token that they're using. So Edu's first priority was actually upgrading Mini-Me a little bit, so that when you go to Uniswap and you like hit approve and it just works instantly with the token,
The sign over the actually broadcasting a transaction and paying gas.
Yeah. So we're going to have that functionality for our actual token, not just the liquidity pool tokens as well, so that no one would, like in our liquidity mining, people won't have to wait for that first transaction to approve. They'll be able, if they want to send give tokens, it won't have to happen. They'll just click approve and instantly they'll sign a message, and then they'll click send, and the approve and thing will happen in one transaction. On that second transaction, pretty instant. So it's a really nice upgrade and future proofing because that's the pattern that's following. So Edu was working on that last week and got it merged, but now we need one Hive to merge it. So liquidity mining is kind of out of our hands for probably a week at least. But we have enough other things to test, like gardens, the claiming, the vesting, the distro and the vesting and how that works. And I think there's something else too. So
sweet. The vesting stuff, is that ready for testing?
That is the first thing we're going to test. So we have to deploy the contracts on Rinkeby, and then and that's what I'm trying to do with Edu right now, and then connect the front end to those contracts. It might take a couple days, but we're doing it. It's happening.
Sweet. Very cool. And yeah, after that, I can see why we want to make staging available on Rinkeby, because after that, we'll be in a great position to start even testing like full give back programs end to end. Yeah, which would be awesome.
That's the other thing that was the other thing. I was like, there's something else to test. Oh yeah, give backs. That's right.
Very cool.
Any other questions around the give economy?
It's coming together. Very exciting.
I see project verification next steps as the last item in that section. Is there a project verification party this week?
We haven't scheduled one yet. Basically, our last round of projects that went out a while ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago, we only received like 2 responses back, even though Ashley was doing some good outreach to them. Oh, now we have 4, it looks like. Awesome. And so we were kind of, when we had just 2, we didn't feel like it was enough to really have a verification party, but on our last call, we decided to outreach to more projects. So Ashley, do you feel like we should have one this week to review, or wait until next week when the additional projects we've reached out to have also gotten back to us?
Yeah, I think that we could have one this week, or at least within the sprint, we should. And I don't know if we really clarified, but we kind of switched over from all of us verifying the projects in the party to like assigning certain people to like investigate each project first, and then coming back to the meeting with any like questions or concerns of anything that came up, so that we're not just sitting in the call like researching these projects, and we could use our time a lot more efficiently that way. So that was kind of the flow that we decided on for the party itself. So we'll have already reviewed the projects by the time of the party. So if you'd like to be involved with like, researching some of those projects and getting them verified, we can definitely have you pick up one and then bring it to the verification party if you have any questions or concerns, and we can look at whatever kind of obstacles there are together.
Amazing. I'll follow up with you, Ashley.
Awesome. Okay, beautiful. Well, with just about 20 minutes left in the call, I want to make sure we have some time to go through our DApp updates and issues and requests. So would someone from the Giveth Trace team like to give us an update on the latest and greatest?
Yeah, we have migrated to the terminologies of traces and communities instead of milestone and DAG. So we drop in develop at Giveth.io, you will notice. We have we have refactored the bridge monitor. The interface is the same, but behind the scenes it has changed a lot. It has issues of missing some events and missing some payments. It had probably it has been fixed right now. We have few refactoring and creating new menus for we have refactored a whole notification part of the front end application and reduce the code and make the code more more maintainable and cleaner. Yeah, that's what I can remember right now.
Awesome, thank you. And did you say the issues of missing some addresses and payments have been completed, or that's something you guys are working on actively?
No, it was fixed. Sometimes some payments were not shown on a bridge monitor. So we have refactored and changed the whole process of event processing and bridge monitor. So we hope that it doesn't miss anything at all after that.
Amazing. Thank you, Amin. And someone from the Giveth.io dev team, would you like to share?
Sure, first, that's me. It was quite a slow week, but very productive nonetheless. So we left by Tuesday 2 environments working for the next version, staying and main.next that Giveth.io that's pointing to the same database as Giveth.io. So we didn't push the final merge to the Giveth.io version because Kai found that that version was kind of sluggish compared to the staging. So because I was away half of the week, we decided to do that tomorrow. So if everything comes along quite nice, I believe that by tomorrow we will have the Next.js version running on Giveth.io. Yeah, I think if we're lucky, that's going to happen. And for the rest of the week, we'd like to prioritize on the sprint planning, of course, but I'm sure that we have to move to Rinkevi. That's not a problem. And also the user verification using maybe Freebox or some kind of service. I believe that that's the two main features that we should tackle now. Yeah, I think that's it. Excited for the week to be more productive and be back fully because I was really not myself this week. And happy to have all of the support from the test team and comms and the dev team, James, Merlin, and Kai. They were really great this week supporting while I was away. But that's it. Yeah, back to you first.
Amazing. Really clear update. Thank you, Mateo. And I see that Kai is not on the call, but does anyone have anything from your own knowledge that maybe you'd like to share around operations?
He was mentioning that we would have to see what's going on with the Vercel environment because staying is working really snappy, really fast, but for some reason the main database is not. So he said he would take a look on that this weekend, and if he wasn't lucky to solve it, we'll take a look on a meeting tomorrow, the two of us. So I think that's all I know regarding DevOps.
Hola, Guapa. We just got back to the house, and
I have to
yeah, it was a pretty cool adventure. We just ended up going to Jolly
for
Rogers for
the
hot wings.
version because it's not working right now with that. So segment for MailChimp and the other thing, the contact form. Those two things we have to check out. I know Willie was working on that issue and we're very active on that.
Awesome. And that was the contact form and what else for segment?
Mail subscription through MailChimp.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Mateo, do you know Do you know if there's any progress on the Rinkeby version of Giveth, or are we first going to get Next.js out?
I can do it quite fast. By Tuesday, maybe. It's not very hard to do, and we would use the same version of staging right now, so we would only have to change Rocksten to Rinkeby. That's mainly it. I don't believe that's going to be very hard. I guess that by Tuesday we can have it running.
It's okay to be prioritized a little bit later. We don't need it by Tuesday, so just
okay.
But that's great. Glad to hear.
Amazing. I'm gonna scroll up and just check. Okay, we talked about including gravity in the conflict resolution process. Mitch, this I think was an agenda request from you, but I believe we're talking about that tomorrow in governance. So we're okay there. And then roadmap discussion was a request from Willie. I know we talked about specifically for the Give token that Griff and I are going to be hacking on that over the next few days, but I believe road mapping, maybe that you brought up, Willie, was more around the Giveth.io dev team and the tensions that were addressed on that dev call a few days ago on Wednesday. Is there anything else you'd like to share around that? And we do have 11 minutes, so we could have a little bit of a discussion.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad we have some time to talk about this. I want to kind of open it up to the group too to see exactly what we think the best next steps are here, but it definitely seems like there's a desire for more clarity around the roadmap. And I think the way I think about it is like kind of two buckets. There's like long-term, what's the roadmap? What's the ultimate destination that we're driving towards that we want to get to and reach eventually? And then there's like the short-term, like what are the immediate next steps that we need to take to get to that long-term destination? Hope nobody is advocating for like full step-by-step plan to get to the destination, because my view on that is that it's not a good use of time to try and map out every single step. But I hear the desire definitely for more clarity around long-term destination and more clarity around the immediate short-term next steps. So I don't know. I think we probably don't have enough time just in this call to completely go deep and map out the roadmap. But I wanted to ask if like people would be interested in scheduling a meeting around this, or maybe tacking on to another meeting, maybe the upcoming dev call, maybe we set aside about half of it to discuss. And what I'm kind of thinking, we had this roadmap doc in the workspace, so you can check that out. I updated that this morning just so that it's up to date. And anyone can go in there and add requests for features. What I was thinking for this meeting, and maybe it becomes a regular thing, is that basically we can get together. I'm happy to kind of propose a long-term vision and a few next steps to get there. But I want it to be open, and I want anyone to be able to kind of push back on the suggested features and propose their own features, and maybe even propose their own vision for the long term. I really want this to be like a big part of my vision is that it's not designed by a single individual or entity, but that it's up to the community basically. It's a big part of how I envision the future of giving looking. So, but yeah, if you guys are open to that, we could schedule a meeting or tack onto another meeting and basically talk about, align on a long-term vision and then align on the next few steps to get there. Maybe the next five features that we tentatively want to plan as the next things that we want to work on. How does that sound to the group? How does that sound to you guys? See some thumbs up.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it's inspiring for all the because we kind of have three main projects that are working, and I don't think any of them have especially great roadmaps. I honestly think the Giveth.io probably has the best actual roadmap sitting on Notion, but Giveth Trace. We really need to also sit down and have some heart-to-hearts about where the hell we're going. And then the token, I guess the token has a pretty solid roadmap, but it needs to be cleaned up and a little bit more which we're working on. And so then we have these 3 roadmaps, and I don't know if we want to step back and also make like a Giveth roadmap that ties these roadmaps together when all 3 are done, and then or done-ish, and then we can try to maybe merge them into a more of a higher level. How do we tie these things together? How does Trace and Giveth.io interact, right? How does the token come into Trace? We get how it goes into IO. Do givebacks happen in Trace? Like, there's so many things that we need to like really think about and tie these things together. So I think it's a good practice for all of our 3 moving parts.
Yes, love the idea of like the higher level roadmap that ties them all together. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like it needs to be its own call rather than tacked on, maybe like its own full-on meeting. We probably have to talk about a lot of things.
I think sorry, the tall one, absolutely. But the higher level one, I don't think we can do until each of the smaller ones are done, you know? And so I do think it's okay to keep the Giveth.io roadmap like with Giveth.io focus. And then at the end, we just know, hey, we're going to tie them all together. So things might need to be shifted. Don't get so attached to everything, because we might, oh yeah, Trace has this priority. So, okay, this is going to come in. And, yeah. But maybe Ashley, for cutting you off. If you want to continue, I just want to make sure that the high level one can't be in scope until we get these other 3 done.
No, I was finished.
And I cut off you too, Danny.
Yeah, no, well, I was just, I just wanted to say that I would really like to be a part of the conversation, but I can't really facilitate it. So I'll look forward to seeing when that's scheduled so I can make sure I'm available.
Cool. I can get a doodle going. Looking forward to this, actually. I think this will be really great. Should be a fun conversation. So yeah, I hope anyone who's interested in getting involved or even just listening in, look out for that doodle in Discord. And then I'll try and get it scheduled for this next week. In the meantime, I hope that it seems like there's already clarity, because Mateo mentioned the next things we want to do are Rinkeby and then the 3 box. Right now, like the immediate, I think, next milestone is launching this Give token and making it a successful launch. I think ultimately that is the best next thing that we can do, both to create this economy and give us, a token that we can use to incentivize more contributions, and so that again, Papa Griff isn't footing the bill for a lot of this, which we're also grateful for, but isn't totally sustainable. And a big part of this future of giving is that it's sustainable. So the Give token is going to be huge for that, and I think it's going to, as in terms of the things that we can do to like get more projects and more donors using Giveth. I think the Givebacks program is one of the most meaningful things we can do in the near term. That's going to really incentivize donors to come donate on Giveth, and once we have the donors donating, that's going to incentivize the projects to come onto Giveth. So that's why there's a big push for Give token, and I totally recognize that may not have all been communicated, because we've been kind of working on these different projects, but it does seem like there is some clarity in alignment that is the next big milestone that we're working towards on the dev side, and that's going to have a huge impact for Giveth.io and Giveth Trace. And hopefully that's also another thing that's going to do is bring in a lot of individuals who want to come participate. It's going to really bring in the community and engage and activate the community. And anyone, ideally, like anyone who's in the space and wants to be part of building the future of giving is going to come gravitate towards Giveth and be encouraged and rewarded for contributing.
Yeah, one thing I wanted to mention around project verification and the 3-box thing is during the dev call, they had mentioned that 3-box is migrating to IDX, or it's not going to be 3-box anymore. So there might need to be some research done to see whether we go with IDX or maybe there's another platform that might be better.
Yeah, James made some research regarding that. I need to ask him what was the conclusion of that. But yeah, totally. IDX is happening for some reason with ceramic, I believe, is the technology behind.
Awesome. And I'd just like to share that I did request a meeting for myself and Monique, which we're having on Tuesday morning, because my experience around road mapping specifically for developers is more limited, as that's not like the industry that I've come from in the past. So he and I are going to have a cool like project management sync on Tuesday morning, and I'll be picking his brain about like kind of the structure and way that he does things. So I hope that that will really support this process also, at least for the Give token team. So I think if we could do the group call after Tuesday morning, that'd be amazing, because then I'll have like a bit more knowledge. And thanks, Willie, for sharing that Giveth roadmap. I'll add that to the agenda here. To the current. Awesome. Any other thoughts or contributions or questions around this before we have our meeting scheduled this week? I guess, Willie, you can just post that in the scheduling channel, the doodle poll, since it applies to so many different teams.
Perfect.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we have just 2 minutes left, so I think it's nice when we're able to close out with some popcorn, like closing thoughts. How you're feeling now after this call? I am feeling grounded, and I will pass it to Ashley.
I'm feeling connected, and I'll pass it to Wonka.
I'm feeling motivated, and I will pass to Willie.
I'm feeling inspired and grateful. That's 2 words, sorry. I'll pass to Mohammed.
Actually, I'm feeling hungry, very hungry.
Hungry?
Griff. I think, did you say Griff? I'm feeling sweaty in Costa Rica. And I'll pass it to Lauren.
I'm feeling relaxed, and I'll pass it to Mitch.
I'm feeling jealous. I'll pass it to Amin.
I feel motivated. I pass it to Danny.
I feel so fucking grateful, and that's all one word.
Okay, I think everyone has gone. Mateo, did you go?
Yeah, I'm feeling anxious to see all this working and happening because it's all really cool. So for the many words.
Amazing.
I jumped on late, but I am feeling excited and get to share all about Giveth at the Bitcoin conference this week.
Very cool. That's awesome. Okay, so I also just want to say that we have a slot for a meme party after this call. If you are feeling feisty, creative, and fun, we'll be posting in the meme channel. And then also the greater meme Olympics will be on Wednesday. And I sent that calendar invite out. Okay, much love. Thanks everyone for your involvement today. Happy Sunday.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. So good to see you guys.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye.